Good morning. As you can see, I've been able to persuade my friend the owl to come out of his perch and to come for an interview. He doesn't really like coming out during the daytimes, but he's made a special exception because of the coronavirus emergency. And so he's sitting here waiting to be interviewed. He speaks only from the side of his beak because he doesn't like to be seen to talk in public. He's rather shy. So, my dear owl, how are you? And how is your family? To which he says his family is awfully well. They're living a few fields away, but everything seems to be going all right. And last year when we spoke, you said you were afraid of a possible influx of owls from the continent. How has that turned out? And he says, well, actually Brexit was a great help from that point of view because it put them all off, and they've gone off to a forest in the Auvergne and are now quarrelling vigorously among themselves. And we've had no problem with invading owls since I last spoke to you. Well, that's most encouraging. Now, turning to the issue of the day, what do you think about coronavirus? To which he says, well, I've been hearing about it on the Owl Network, and the situation in China is far worse than the Chinese government lets you know, and so you should be rather wary of any statistics you get because they're not likely to be wrong. Thank you for that, my dear owl. And how are you behaving in this drama? To which he says, well, when I land on a branch or a bench or a fence indeed that might have had human contact, I immediately go to a lake or a river and make sure my claws go into it for at least 20 seconds. And then I go and perch on a branch out of reach of any human beings. And that way, any contagion is kept off my claws, which I find quite reassuring. Now, in terms of human beings, how would you recommend that we behave in order to minimize the chance of infection and so on? To which his opinion is that as human beings we can't fly, unfortunately, which is a great shame. But since we can't fly, the best thing to do when you're approaching someone, instead of going up to them like that, you should swoop underneath them like this and talk from underneath like that. And in that way avoid breathing the same breath as them and therefore reducing the chance of contagion. Now, my dear owl, that's a jolly good idea, but it must make you look a bit of an idiot, mustn't it? To which he says, yes, but better be an idiot than be dead. And so from that point of view, I quite agree with you, my dear owl. You're quite right. It's better to be alive and loony looking than respectable and dead looking. I think that's probably difficult to argue with. And so I think that may be the sum total of the knowledge you have to impart today. And so thank you very much for it. And I'm sure we're all very grateful to my friend the owl.